Hello everyone, and welcome back to Optimize Evony. Today I want to just hit you guys with a quick video about some of the Battlefield reports that I have. Just go through some of them, analyze them. They're by no means the best reports, but just something fun to do. Since we streamed all last week, I just wanted to show you guys some of the hits. Let you know what I think is kind of important for defense and offense, I guess, to kind of have the best success there. But yeah, before I begin, congrats to Waggy. That he was top overall in the season 8 All Stars Battlefield, and congrats to the Stallion team. I believe it was the Stallion team that won. Yep, the Stallion team that won. And of course, congrats to everyone who even made All Stars. It's quite an accomplishment, and I hope that you got all the rewards you were looking for. I myself got probably the least important of the rewards, which was the avatar frame. So I can look mildly different with no benefit. But yeah, let's kind of get back into looking at the reports. And yeah, it's just gonna be kind of a random mix of reports. I'm not gonna show you some of the. Towards the end, I was healing, and so a couple times I got caught with a couple marches out. I didn't heal enough low tiers to basically prevent myself from being soloed. So that's kind of on me. I think next time I would probably do it a little bit different. Heal some calves and stuff to not be soloed very easily. One thing to note is that it seems like Evony is kind of trying to prevent people from point trading. And so I saw this on one of my reports. You have gained excessive scores from this monarch, and your scores gained are lowered. So apparently, I got too many points from attacking this person. I think we had a couple of really good rallies against him, but I guess we'll see later. But that doesn't show you that I actually lost miserably. So yeah, I didn't get credit for some of these scores. I guess whatever. I wasn't gonna that wasn't gonna make a big difference in me advancing. But I guess it seems like Evony is trying to do some sort of things where maybe just in solos, if you've gained a lot of points by attacking someone, they basically don't allow you to just attack people back and forth and push each other to the next round. So I think that was kind of a big issue in the past. Kind of going from the end to the beginning. Looks like we took out the last little bit of JT when he was at 3 bill. Still a lot of troops. And you can see we didn't really clear him all too cleanly. Probably if we had some more troops join this, if this was a full 50 million rally, he would have been toast, regardless of his buffs. So let's kind of look at what that is. The buffs are looking really good. Mount HP and defense are really solid here. And let's see kind of what we attacked with. I think we attacked with. So we actually attacked with mounts. I think at that point I didn't have any mounts, so I sent ground instead. I don't know if that did too well, but looks like he was mostly at that point archer, siege, a little bit of mount. Pretty decently built still, not too one-sided. So even an archer would have been a decent play at this point. probably just based on like the level or the amount of troops left. I would say maybe would be a good candidate for a ground, because ground has high defense, so it doesn't take quite as much in terms of punishment. And he only had, he didn't have a massive amount of T1 troops, so only, a couple million here, which is kind of normal. So, yeah, nothing too special there. Looks like just I ended up catching someone with a solo, so that was cool. This was a mount rally. Again, not a full rally. I think this was towards the end. This person had really solid buffs, better than JT that we were just looking at, and I'm assuming he kind of fully debuffed. 918. Yep, that looks like it's fully debuffed it. So this wasn't a smashing success by any means, and I think that's probably because he had just too many archers still. So likely we needed to do a big siege on him, but I will say we actually did that. One of the previous reports, this one was a T11, I believe. Didn't have enough troops. Basically, I think if we had had more troops here, this would have gone a lot better. His buffs are really good. Again, really strong for a siege, and he at this point still had some calves. So because of that, it didn't go quite as well. It killed all the T14 siege. I don't think he didn't have any T15 siege. We killed, a little bit of the T13 siege, but not enough. And doesn't look like kind of going down. We really did too much. And this is without rain, so this is actually really impressive, because without rains against a rally of this size, I would expect someone to do quite poorly. I mean, you see even some of the people who are fully maxed out, they'll still take huge losses in rallies. So this one, I believe, was an archer. Again, not a massive archer loss. So he is decent size, but because of that, should be giving up enough points to make it worth it. And this was basically a full rally. So again, really solid buffs. Let's just check if he's debuffing fully. Yeah, basically debuffing fully. And what did we end up killing? So of course T14s, T13s. Yeah, so it looks like we basically killed all the mounts, but because the buffs were so good, we didn't kill any of the archers or anything like that, and so that kind of limited how much we were able to kill. And then I think there was one more maybe rally that we did on that guy. I don't know why we kept rallying him actually. Okay, yeah, no, that's not. I thought we tried to do a big siege on him too, but maybe that's this one. Nope. Okay, lost that one. I guess that's fine. I don't think that one went particularly well either. I might have just not joined it, but yeah, seems like we were kind of attacking the wrong person there. But yeah, let's look at this one. Archer, decent sized rally, 5 bill that you expect to clear here. Good buffs, solid buffs. Nothing bad. Certainly much better than mine. But I think at this point, he just lost too many troops, and it actually looks like maybe we attacked wrong. Looks like this was maybe a better mount clear than an archer, but archer did just fine. Let's see. Yeah, mounts had already been killed. And yeah, I mean we kind of lost a lot for only killing that much. So could have been better, certainly. This one was also kind of a typical clear. Lost kind of 2 bill to 6.4 bill. Again, really solid buffs. Seems like that's kind of the norm these days, is everyone has over 1,000 of everything, especially if you're kind of doing all that military academy research that gives you a bunch of defense buffs. And this looks like this guy was basically at full strength, so we killed him, but it was at full strength. So I mean, good buffs, but not good enough to withstand basically a 50 million rally. So, and I wouldn't expect it to. So this is another archer, not basically like 40 million troops. Decent buffs, nothing too amazing. Still debuffed pretty much all of it, which is, I think, the main reason why they survived. That's one thing that I noticed for myself personally, is that my range troop debuffs was just not high enough. I think I was like 750 or below 800, and I got hit with like 2400 or above range troop attack, and so that just like I did not cut it down enough to not die there. Looks like this guy was also kind of at full strength or fullish strengths, and basically left him with some ground layers and then siege. So follow up or mount rally would do really well. I think this guy basically ported though, so we didn't get to do the cleanup hit on there. So this is the guy that hit me before, and because of that I didn't get as many points as I should have. But this is a 5.9 archer again, full rally at this time, and this is a pretty decent sized rally on him. He also has really good buffs, fully debuffed, and I think we basically killed T15 ground, and basically all of his T15s except for the siege, and then a range and mounts going forward. So it would have been a pretty decent cav follow-up, but I think he either healed or ported away at that point. So I think that was kind of one of the things that happened to us on again and again, is we got pretty decent first hits, but we weren't able to get the clears, and because of that we kind of struggled to get as many points as we needed to. Again, I got caught troops down. I was a little bit lax on ghosting troops. So not super impressive. Small rally there. Again, we hit Superman. This time this was basically a much smaller rally. So I think this guy basically just kept full healing, and so we hit him a couple times because we were coming out positive. But that time it looks like we didn't get a full rally, unfortunately. Yeah, and so this time we had tried to cav him when he was 6.8 bill. This is a super small rally for all stars. So let's look at what he actually had. Wow, this is basically a perfect cav rally. There's some range troops in here, but not enough to really make a difference. So if this was a 50 million rally, this would have been a 6.8 bill clear. So basically we because we didn't get enough here, we weren't able to clear, and basically barely went positive on this. This was not a good rally in terms of going positive. So if we had been able to get a little bit more in here, we would have easily cleared that, and then he would have had to heal more if he was committed to full healing. Then there's a chance that he always forgets to heal his subs, and you're able to get a massive clear, similar to what happened to Bob and I think someone on one of the C2 teams that I saw as well. That was the one that we just looked at. And then this is another one that we archered him. Basically the same result as before. Like I said, he was healing, but we didn't get that mount full enough. Nothing super special here. This one actually I did want to talk about because this one you can see that there's only 1.7 bill left, but we basically lost a bill clearing 1.7 bill. So that's not what you want. You want the clears to be super clean. You want to lose very few troops to kill I mean as many billion of troops as you can. And so I think really good buffs there, really strong ground buffs. I think maybe R had switched to kind of ground gear at that point because she knew that we were gonna mount her. But yeah, still had a decent amount of still had some calves. Looks like maybe healed a march of calves, but actually looked like just too many archers here. Some of the layers, the T12s in particular, had enough that they were able to do some damage. And then let's look to see if there's a whole bunch of T1s. No, there's actually not. So I actually think that this would have been a much better ground. I don't think we would have lost as many troops if we had gone ground here, even though she had mount troops, because we would have been able to have way more troops and stuff like that. We would have been able to cut through that pretty easily, and the archers wouldn't have hurt us nearly as bad. Yeah, another one not worth really looking at. Okay, nice, a 50 million rally to kill 790 million. Unfortunately, we were able to get oh, that one's actually a much better one. We were able to get 50 million troops here to unfortunately not kill all that many here, but we weren't able to get it some of those times when we actually really needed it. This one looks like a little bit better report. This was again a 50 million rally. Let's look at some of the buffs. Okay, the buffs are a little bit lower than some of the other ones, and then here let's look. This is a key thing. The fact that the archer attack debuff is only 791 compared to basically like 2000. That's not going to be good enough. And so since they didn't get rains at 7.9 bill, I would expect this to be a pretty easy rally here. And yeah, I mean you have a good build here, but with those debuffs, you're just not going to be able to really do too much. So it was a pretty decent sized one tap here, and basically went like 900 million to 7.4 bill. Probably could have gone a little bit cleaner than that, but it happens, as they say. It happens. So 7.8 bill. So this is a pretty decent sized rally. That didn't look like it's 100% full, but this had a 12.8 bill person, and so still has subs. So no real reason why they should be losing quite so much. Again, the buffs aren't too amazing. Only 850%, which is I mean nothing to turn up your nose at. 850% range troop attack debuff is pretty good. It's just unfortunately not maxed for this level, and so I'm assuming we killed most things here. Basically all the T14s except for siege. Even killed the T13 grounds and archers, and then basically left some. Starting with T12s, left some ground there. So this would have been a pretty good follow-up cav, and should have been pretty clean, because most of the archers actually died there. Yeah, let's. Oh, if you watch my stream, this is the report that I was talking about. So you see, pretty decent sized rally, 8.5 bill. This was, honestly, in my opinion, I was kind of expecting this to be a clear, but pretty decent buffs. I think some of that ground troop defense might have saved a little bit, and some of that siege HP. Let's look at the debuffs too. The debuffs were solid, so that's the main reason why they survived at that amount. But the reason why I thought this was kind of a funny report is you see the survived. Survived is only 324,000 troops out of 368 million. So this person basically came as close as they could to being zeroed in one without actually being zeroed. This is the closest to being zeroed I've ever seen someone get in a single report, without actually being zeroed. So I thought this was just kind of funny. Props to this guy. I mean, you withstood a really solid rally. If we had one more person in, this would have been a different story. It would have gotten zeroed. But as it is, it's a pretty funny report. Let's look at this one. Nice, 9.5 billion. And this one was actually a little cleaner, so only 1.4, maybe 1.5 billion lost. And buffs are good, but not quite the level that we've been seeing. So not over 1,000 for most of the defense and HP stats. The range troop attack debuff is not very good, looking a lot more like mine, which is why this is a 9.5 bill clear here. And yeah, we basically just killed everything here. So no shame in that. I want to say, because the same thing happened to me. So tried to mount attack R at 8.7 billion. That's probably a bit too early for R. I think R is only like kind of mid-teens, so not super low troops here. And again, these ground troop stats and the archer stats, I mean, really all of them, they're phenomenal. But let's see what she had left. A lot of siege. This would have maybe been a decent siege target, because now no mounts, but a lot of siege and archers left. So a big siege would have cut into this huge, and this is one of the main reasons why we lost here. 12 million T12 archers. That's gonna cut into. I mean, basically all the layers were left. All the range troops were left, and so with those ground troop stats and those archer stats, and even the siege stats, you're not gonna do too much to that. And this was even, I mean, it wasn't a huge rally. Maybe with a little bit bigger rally, we would have done a little bit better, but still, I don't think that was going to be a zero, unless we had phenomenal buffs. So a little too early to mount attack R. That would have been a really great big siege target. Would have been a big siege, and then maybe either a ground or a mount at that point. I probably would have set both of them at the same time, and just sent both, and she would have been toast. Because the siege would have knocked out a lot of those siege and archers, which would have made the mount go way better. Alright, I think we're kind of getting towards the end here. I don't want to ramble too much. This is a siege. Pretty good defense by 13. I mean, he made it until the final, so pretty solid account on Neff. So knows what he's doing. Not a big enough rally here. If we had a bigger rally, probably would have been maybe more of like a 3 or 4 bill lost here. Because I think this was also a big siege. If we had done a small siege, maybe it would have looked a little bit better with a smaller rally here. Oh yeah, okay, so then let's look at the embarrassment. This is where I got zeroed. Full rally, 50 million rally, almost 24k, 2400 archer attack, and really solid stats here. My stats are not looking amazing. I think I'm maybe, so I was using the 10-minute buffs, and I think they had expired, and my alarm hadn't gone off or whatever to reset them, and so they were not looking as good as they should have. I still don't think I would have survived, because it's a pretty clean rally, and then the main thing is this archer attack just is not enough here. Needs a lot more, and I probably need to also do a little bit more debuffing of ranged troop HP. Do some more of those RK axes in my subs as well, and then just probably doing some ascensions and stuff like that. But yeah, we can look into the report a little bit. It's not super great. This guy tried to rain me with ground. I appreciate the effort, but unfortunately didn't really do enough. And at this point, we'd already been rallying for a little bit, so I was already down a little bit in troops, but that's no excuse. None of my ground really did much. I needed to have a little bit better attack buffs for ground and stuff like that. So yeah, it's not a really good looking report. Definitely an embarrassment, but gives me some room to grow, I guess. And hopefully next time I can either port out of it or just have more troops and better buffs to not lose to it. I did explain a little bit. I was not expecting to take this rally. They actually set 3 rallies on me, and I did die to the first one, so not super great. But basically, we were running low on ports, and no one really noticed, and so they set on me, and I went to go port, and we didn't notice that we were out of ports, and I tried to port, and I was like, shoot, we have no ports, I can't go anywhere. And so then by that point I called for rains, but it was way too late. They were already marching on me, and so only one guy got in, and yeah, it was not pretty, as you can see. So that's the downer. We maybe have one more good one. Yeah, we can end with this one. We mount cleared love letter at 5 bill with some rains. Not even a full rally, but we still did pretty good. And I think love letter probably just was a lot of ground at that point. Actually had some mounts, but we were able to cut through him. It looks like maybe love letter either had healed some, or either had just maybe been big sieged before, because a lot of the high tier range was gone, and some of the siege as well. So, but yeah, this was pretty solid clear. Happy about this one. Yeah, that's you know, I could go on with more reports and stuff, but uh, that's kind of enough, I think. Main thing is, you know, the rally sizes are critical. You know, if you're not filling 50 million, you're not going to do as well as other people because you're leaving points on the table. You're not killing as cleanly. You're not killing as much, and so uh, you know, for example, if you do like a 30 million rally against some of these people, you won't clear all their calves, and so you'll come in with a follow up calf rally or something like that, and those calves will be able to be there to protect the ground and the archers and stuff, and you'll probably lose a lot worse. So rally size is absolutely critical. For defense, the debuffs, of course, are the main thing that I'm worried about. Like, yeah, the buffs are important, but I think the debuff is still probably the biggest thing. If you can max debuff the archer rally coming at you, you're gonna do a lot better than me only debuffing like you know, like a little bit more than half of it. So I did actually there was on that report, those reports that we didn't do very well against that kind of bigger player. I did want to talk about one more thing here. I think it's right after this, maybe. Maybe this sequence. Nope. Nope. Almost there, I think. Okay, I think it's the sequence. It's a bunch of them right at one. So this one we did pretty well on our archer rally, and I did want to show one more kind of crucial thing. We killed most of the mounts, but what we didn't kill and we didn't see is the fact that he had 1.3 billion, it looks like, T1 mounts. And so because of that, that's actually why some of our other attacks did not do as well, because we just weren't able to get through that kind of meat wall at the bottom there. So that's another thing to be careful for when you're rallying, is if you see someone with, I mean, this absurd level of T1s, don't solo it. You're not going to win on a solo. And then, yeah, be careful what you're rallying with. Make sure that those are killed before you kind of try and go for a clear. Otherwise, you're not gonna do super well. But yeah, that's it for me. It was a fun All Stars. I wish that I had done a little bit better myself. Maybe the team that I gotten on was a little bit better. Or I mean, I think my team was great. We got a little bit screwed over at the beginning because we weren't able to get everyone in right away, and stuff. But I wish that my team had been able to score a little bit better, I think is what I meant to say, and so that more of us could have advanced, and it made a little bit more sense healing and stuff like that. But congrats to everyone who did great on All Stars. Congrats to all the people who got dragons for the first time, and All Stars keeps and stuff like that. And that's it for this video. Thanks everyone for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. I'll see you in the next video.